Greetings, 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 and it's Tuck Your Testicles Tuesday. I actually don't tuck them because Ace Ventura got in trouble for that already once. Let's dial it back, shall we? Teletoons Tuesday. Looney Tunes Tuesday. Remember Looney Tunes? Looney Tunes was such an awesome cartoon. I used to wake up in the early morning and watch cartoons when I was a little kid. Like, I swear to God, it'd be like 5 in the morning. I'd get up, make my own cereal, sit at a little TV table in front of the TV and just watch TV for like a couple hours before anybody else woke up. Seems like my whole life I've been trying to just do shit on my own. Just break out and do no one around, no one to bother me, just to do my own thing, sit in a room and chill out. So, that hasn't changed much, that's for sure. I miss parties, actually. This is Together Tuesdays, things that we do together, that we miss doing together. Together at groups, together in concerts, together at like listening to music and sharing albums. People used to sit around, and that back in the day, only one person had like their parents or whomever had a decent hi-fi system. You had a record player, and you go through the albums and sit around and smoke weed and drink and just listen to music with your friends and let the record play out till you hear that click, 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 the needle on the record. Yeah, back in the day. Nowadays, I mean, it's still a little bit of sharing, but nobody's really actually together, especially with COVID, but never mind COVID. Fuck COVID. Make that my thumbnail. YouTube always picks like moments where I'm smiling, so they're not gonna pick that when I have to do that myself. But anyways, yeah, like today, you know, Spotify's got this like, what are your friends listening to category. So when you're listening and other friends are listening and it's not a private session, you can hear what people are listening to. So that's pretty cool. It's like a shared experience, but not together. So like, what is it about being in the same place with someone? Like it's different, right? It's totally different for me. As much as I like being on my own, that's only because I'm impatient. I'm impatient about stuff. Sometimes it's like me rambling on here. I'm sure not everything I talk about is important or interesting. So you're like, oh, come on, get on with it. Or what are you talking about? And I have those sense of feelings in the social situations too. So where my patience is no good, or maybe my empathy is broken, when you're together in a group, you kind of want to, I like to do things like, I'm at a concert, I'll just wander on my own, but I'll meet up. Or if it's a really good song, I'll just like bump my buddy and be like, yo man, check that out. That was so good. That kind of energy to like check somebody, and you know, body language is missing when you're when you're like only digital. Even when you're talking on the phone, you can hear somebody's tone of voice, and it adds to the whole thing. I mean, comedy rarely works in just written form unless it's punny or like a surprise, or you can kind of like make out somebody's voice, but something's missing, right? So when you're together in groups, you get to see reactions, people's faces, whether they're like, you know, like whether they enjoy it, they don't enjoy it, or if they like gag because something smells weird, or like, it doesn't work if you're not together in a group. You're not looking at somebody's face. You know, it's an interesting sort of energy that happens when you're together. Now, most of all, I miss house parties. Back in the day, back in my day when I was like renting basements and had apartments and all that kind of stuff, I used to throw house parties for all my friends like at least once every few months. And then before that, before I actually lived anywhere else, even when I was living with my mom and my family, like brother and all that, I would still have people over, sleepovers, do some fun stuff, do photography, play video games, eat junk food, watch movies. But then we had a group where we would go down to a river and light fires and shit. It was mental. Like somebody brought down a 6-foot metal shelving that we barbecued and like steamed vegetables and like all kinds of shit. We brought a couch. There was all kinds of nonsense going on back in those days. It was like one solid summer. Up to like 12 people would just go and camp out by a river, have a fire. It was illegal, of course. But it was so much fun because everybody hung out together. You could have like 10 people experience the same joke at the same time. Everybody laughing off each other or tell scary stories. So then after that, when I went to college, I had a basement. I would invite people over all the time and just have pizza, watch movies, listen to music, just kind of in different rooms, just chill out. Give people somewhere to go to hang out together. Eventually that stopped because, I don't know, I mean, I went through a rough time in my past, that's for sure. My personality's changed so much in the last 4 or 5 years, even 6 years. It's amazing how I look back at how abrasive and aggressive and egotistical and asshole-ish I would be for the sake of a joke, but I would be the only one laughing. Wow. So I'm not surprised my friends eventually were like, fuck you. I'm not giving you the time of day. Get away from me. It just came off like this toxic, narcissistic type of personality. And I was really just compensating for shit like anxiety and loneliness, and I would get upset or like bitter if something didn't happen, and I planned things out and felt like sometimes all of what I was doing I wasn't appreciated, so I would get snappy, and it was so weird. So like I eventually lost a lot of connections, and that's truly sad. Truly sad, because it's so different now, but people move on. So like the idea of together, I think about it now, I'm like, God, like there's so much glue and puzzle pieces and nuances that we miss when we're younger, and then we grow up and it's like, what happened? Can't get that again. And now with COVID, everybody's just separated and you can't do anything together. Makes me really think about those times. So I miss house parties. House parties were a lot of fun. Concerts and shows were okay, but I miss the intimacy of like a house where you could like drink too much and just fall asleep after. Everybody just chilling on the couch and just sleeping on the floor. I used to go to so many other people's houses. Used to visit, like, went back in high school. A bunch of guy friends of mine would go out to like different girls' houses, and like they'd bring their friends, and then of course people would be like messing around in the bedrooms and all that shit like all night long. But it was all like local to the neighborhood, so you could go party and then just walk home. It was really cool. God, I miss parties. So I don't so much miss stuff like fireworks on like in a park, because then it's a whole bunch of strangers. It's not your close friends. Concerts, at least you're there to watch a band, but like fireworks on like the 4th of July or Canada Day, or like, and name any other celebration with fireworks, there's a lot of people around, different families doing their own thing. It's not like I dislike it, but I don't like it as much. It's a lot of people together, but it's not the same feeling. I like meeting up with people I haven't seen for a while, just to kind of catch up and talk about shit, but then like still have a familiar comfort together, you know what I mean? Like there's many people I haven't seen in years, a few years. I mean, shit happens, of course. You need to grow and learn and reevaluate, and everybody kind of changes over time. But it's like nice to touch base, figure out where people are at, because like I'm not a fan of burning bridges, for sure. I'm sure it may have come off to some people like I burn bridges, or maybe I don't understand the full extent of what the perspective was that was going on. Like I have never been told. It's like the equivalent of being, thanks truck, I was not in the middle of saying something important. Fuck. It's a fuck truck. Nah, bringing it back to Kill Bill. Pussy wagon, fuck truck. Anyways. But yeah, I don't think it's like being ghosted, right? Ghosted, you just kind of, you don't explain what you're upset at, you just drop and leave. And of course, I don't blame people, really. I just wish I knew. It'd be nice to get a hint, get a tip off. You'd be like, how do you learn from anything in your life if you don't tell someone what's wrong? The beauty of communicating, even if you have to tell somebody off, when you do so, you're explaining. It's like a verbal door shut. You slam the door in somebody's face, you get it. It's physical, it's it's visceral. You can't ignore that. But when you get told, you're like, oh, okay. You know, it kind of makes sense. The puzzle pieces fit, and you're like, you know, like I really screwed up. I can evaluate so many things, but I'm not going to get it all right. I'm guessing. I can't guess at people thinking. I'm not psychic. But yeah, to be together just brings some new element to things, like me and you. We are kind of together, except you just have to like type in the comments what's going on. So let me know. You guys can see the buildings, right? You know what I'm going to say, right? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments what you think of the topic. Being together changes things. Which event you were at that really felt great, that maybe like you experienced alone, but then went with people and it was different, right? Some things that you just can't do alone, it doesn't work. I know that some girls don't go to the bathroom alone. They have to be together in the bathroom, whatever the fuck that's about. I don't know. But I understand comfort. I understand being comfortable in a group. So yeah, let me know. Let me know what you think. An event you were at that you felt comfortable together, and then which type of event you missed the most. Now that we've all been like separated and together, events have been slowed down. Like you can't even eat at restaurants, but you'd be jammed in a plane and eat on a plane. Go explain that one to me. Oh, the air circulated better. It's healthy. Yeah, sure it is. Numbnuts. I bet not. Take a look. Airplanes. One of these days, I'm trying not to film traffic. Yes. So, yeah, let me know. Together events, restaurants, eating out, going to parties, even going to school together. Imagine how many kids are out there now that just miss being together. Like, it's such a huge part of their social lives to be divided. And now the problem is, the longer it goes on, the more we get used to this new normal, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. And I don't buy that for a second. I want to get back to the old normal. I've been dying to get out on my own and just be free to act and do things without like any kind of a finger or a button or somebody to like, you know, you always kind of have that because everything's structured, but it's nice to just get out and be yourself, you know? But together with people, allowing others to come out of the shell, to feel comfortable, to enjoy just being yourself. It's a lot of fun. Anyways, yeah, let me know what's going on with your life and together events and stuff like that. Whatever you miss. What do you miss the most about being together in groups? All right. Check you guys tomorrow. Take it easy. Clean between your ears.